Welcome back. I'm sure you've done a good job now. We did a lot of exercises on the relationships of the angles. Which one makes sense to you here? You've got an exterior angle, interior opposite. Do you have vertically opposite? What do you have? What do you have? Right. When you look at it, the relationship, that's very, very important. What relationship do you see there? I see exterior angle equals to 2 interior opposite. An angle outside the triangle is equal to the 2 internal ones and opposite. Therefore, like we said, let's put the variables on the left. 2x minus 48 plus x plus 14 will be equals to the exterior angle. Exterior angle equals to 2 interior opposite. Therefore, your like terms is 3x, and then positive on the negative takes it down to 34 degrees, equals to 116 degrees. All right? Constant on the left, when it goes there, it changes the position, it will also change the sign. All right, that's what we've done earlier on, and therefore it's your 0, 5, 150 degrees. Remember, we are interested in x. The question says calculate the value of x. Therefore, we are going to multiply it by inverse of that 3. What did you on the left do on the right? Therefore, your x is equals to 50 degrees. Right? They are looking for CAB, the actual size of this. Looking for size CAB, which is equals to 2x minus 48. That's what we know. Right? But now, remember, that is why mathematics step by step, step by step, step by step. You cannot answer this question before you answer it sometime. Therefore, you know here is x is equals to 50. So 2 by 50 minus 48 degrees, which is 100 degrees minus 48 degrees, which is 54 degrees. 52, I meant to say. 52 degrees. Now the question is, what type of a triangle is triangle ABC? Remember, what defines a triangle is the properties again. We must check the sizes of the triangle. Right? Let's see now. We found CAB first. Let's try and get CBA now. CBA. Angle C, this one. CBA is equals to x plus 14 degrees. All right. And what was our x? X is 50 plus 14, which is 64 degrees. We must also get your C. You remember what is your C? Straight line again. Straight line. I mean ACB, your straight line. To get 180 there for 64. 64 degrees. Therefore, this one is 64 degrees. ACB is equal to 64 degrees. Therefore, if this angle is 64, this one is 64. No, sorry. CBA. Something not right here. Let's see. Let's start this one. Apologies. Let's start this one. And we found out x is 50, right? X is 50 degrees. And right, let's check that one. Therefore, angle, this one, would be 100 degrees minus 48 degrees, which is 52 degrees. We agree. All right? If one is 52 degrees, 116 minus 52 will give us this one. 116 minus 52. There's been a long day indeed. 64. You agree, 64. Okay. This one, 180 degrees minus 116. It's a 4. 64. Oh, no, it's correct. It's 64. It's 64. Therefore, if we got 64, it means this side equals to this side. So, two sides equal iso. Iso means equal isosceles. That is an isosceles triangle. So, it was still correct. It was still correct. I just missed this part here because this gives you 116. So it was still correct, no mistake there. Right. That is how we do those questions. Now the last section, your last section there will be the parallel lines. Last section for the day. Thank you very much. You've been so nice for this long day. You asked your parallel lines quickly. Again, the relationships, the parallel lines, you know those lines that will never meet. And then when you draw that line in the middle that joins those two, it's what you call your transverse, your transversal line. Your transversal line. And then the relationships again, we are talking about relationships here. Corresponding angles lie both above or both below, above the parallel lines. That's important. Corresponding above parallel lines. Above this line, above this line. But again, check on the same side of the transverse. Above this line, which is parallel to this line, but check on the right of the transverse. Above this parallel line and this one, on the left side of the there. So it's just a position. Where are they positioned? That's what is important. Right here, they are both below these parallel lines, but on the left, on the right hand side of this transverse. That's important. This one below this parallel line, but on the left hand side. They are corresponding. They are situated on the same, below, on the left of a transverse, above, on the right of the transverse. So that's why they are corresponding. They've got something in common. That's very, very important. And then like using your crayons, where here it's bolded, you can try and use your crayons and see the color and have a better picture. Another one is, again, looking at the properties. We are still on this, on the parallel lines. We're still on the relationships of the angles. But let's check here what is happening. These angles, the one is on the left of the transverse line, the one is on the right of a transverse line. Right? They're just alternating. This one, if this one is on the left, this one is on the right. If this one is on the left, that one is on the right. Between the parallel lines. But remember, it's between the parallel lines, not above, not below. Between. So that's how you learn. It's between. They're alternating. Look at this one. Here is your parallel lines. Here are your parallel lines. Right? There are parallel lines on the left, on the right, but between the parallel lines. On the right, on the left, but between parallel, alternating. That is why it's called alternating on the either side of a transverse. It's understandable to comprehend it, and later on, what kind of picture can you give yourself? Because here, if you check the advice here, it's an F here. They say an F that is looking down, look for that F. This F is also looking down, or look for that F that is looking up, facing any direction. Here they will say look for a Z or an N. So in other words, how would you remember? What is important? How you do remember as an individual. That's what is important. Co-interior, the name says co-interior. Again, we check the relationship, the position. Here we see they are both on the same side of a transverse, but they are within the parallel lines. When you add them, they give you 180. Both within the parallel lines, but on the same side of a transverse. When you add them, they'll give you 180. Both on the same side of the transversal line and between the parallel lines, when you add them, that's why they are called co-interior. They say, try and look for something like a U or a C or whichever you see it, but it must be, that's a relationship, that's, you look for that, get your crayons, your colored pencil, so that it can be colorful and made more clearer, and you get that picture. Right? Corresponding angles, they are equal. Let's remember that. Or with corresponding angles, they will be equal. That's a relationship. Alternating angles, they'll also be equal. Co-interior, when you add them, they give you 180. Supplementary. Supplementary. Let's see with colorful. How would you remember with colored pens and so on? There is your alternating angle on either side of a transverse, but between the parallel lines. You can either use a Z or an N, whichever way you see it. There is your Z there. Always look for that Z on either side of a parallel line. Right? There is your F there, below the parallel lines, but on the same side of it, on the right. Above the parallel lines, but on the same side of a transverse. Those are your corresponding angles. Between the parallel lines, but on the same side of the transverse. Between the parallel lines, but on the same side of a parallel. Others would like to use a C, others look at U, whatever makes sense to you, whatever gives you a picture, that's what is important. Here's another way of looking at it. On the other side of a transverse, but between the parallel side. Below the parallel lines, but on the same side of a transverse. Between the parallel lines, but on the same side of a transverse. When you add them, they give you 180 degrees. Supplementary. Right, let's see here. Let's have a look here. They say, recognize, calculate alternating interior angles, parallel lines. Number one, which ones are alternating? We want to check now. Here's our parallel lines. On either side is A and F. Right? And then interior is D and A. They are between the C. There's your C. Don't forget your vertical opposite is still also there. Don't forget your adjacent angles are also there. Right? Alternating here, look at this same color B on either side of a transverse. On either side of a transverse. Remember, when you add them, they give you 180. Now let's see your equations again. Your equations again. Your equations are back again. Therefore, we have done more than enough on your equations. More than enough. You must be comfortable now. Very comfortable. Again, the relationship. What is the relationship here? Angle B and 72, they are within the parallel lines on the same side of a transverse. Therefore, we say, okay, B plus 72 degrees equals to 180 degrees. What is the reason? Co-interior angles of a parallel lines. Again here, for you to get to 180, what should be B? Or you can say 180 minus 172. I'm sorry. Yeah. 72, which should give you 180 degrees. 180 degrees. Right? This one, C, you are vertically opposite. Your C there is 124. Vertical opposite is still in the picture. All right? Now again, the parallel lines, here are the parallel lines. Where are these? What is the relationship between these? Angle E plus angle C squares to 180 degrees, because co-interior, your C, your U, when you add them, they must give you 180 degrees. But now your C, you just find out, yeah, your C, you just find out is 124 degrees. Therefore, for you to get 180 degrees, this is 50, is it 56? 56 degrees. Again, you look at those kind of relationship. This one would be a little bit, sometimes you get such. A little bit unusual, or trying to get your understanding. It means you can make your imaginary parallel line there and then work with what you know. Imaginary parallel line there, just make it. We are different, some will draw it, some won't draw it. So it shows you again, here is your parallel line and this one. There is your Z. Therefore, that should be 54 degrees. There is your Z, your N. Therefore, that should be 21 degrees. Therefore, angle F will be 54 degrees plus 21 degrees, which is 75 degrees. It's just checking at your understanding. It's tricky, not necessarily tricky, but your understanding. If you understand these things, everything is easy to follow, and so on and so on. C plus D, as we said, to give you 180. E plus F is equals to 180, as we said earlier on. Now, those are our parallel lines. All right. Again, alternating 50 and 50, 130 and 130, corresponding 130 and 130. They are above the line, parallel lines on the same side. They are equal. They are above the parallel lines on the same side of transverse is equal. They are below the parallel lines on the same side of transverse. They are equal. They are below the parallel lines and on the same side of the transverse. They are equal. Alternating on either side. On either side. Remember your vertically opposite angle. Vertically opposite equals to vertically opposite. Vertically equals to vertical. Remember your angles on a straight line 180. 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 Remember the co-interior. They are between the parallel lines on the same side of the transverse. When you add them is 180. That's the picture that we get from parallel lines. We know that one supplementary, if the other one is 50, you say 180 minus 50, which would give 30. If the other one is x, 180 minus x, and so on and so on. It just helps you with your expressions there. Right. Let's look at this one now. Let's work at it together. Let's work at this one together. Let's work at it together. Again, we need to analyze. Let's see, what are we giving? What is in front of us? You see, what is important? What is in front of you? That's what matters. What information? Information is very, very important. What do you have in front of you? What do you have in front? Let's see. What are we given? Parallel lines. What do you know about parallel lines? There is your Z there. What is it telling you? Right? On the either side of transverse, there are your parallel lines. Therefore, this one is 62 degrees. Alternating, yes, you are right. What else we know? We just said now, what you are giving is very, very important. This sign and this sign means the sides are equal. If the sides are equal, then those angles will be equal. In other words, angles opposite equal sides are equal. Angles opposite, this angle is opposite this side, which is equal to this one. This angle is equal to this one, which are, in other words, angles opposite equal sides are equal. Therefore, you've got your y. They're also looking for an x. So what's the situation with x now? What is the relationship? Again, is where is x? Where is this situation? What does x, the relationship that x has? X is an exterior angle. Therefore, x will be equals to interior opposite this angle plus that angle. 63 degrees plus 63 degrees. Exterior angle equals to change. So you must always look for relationship. Where is x? Where is it situated? What is it related to? How is it related to it? Which is 126 degrees. Right? All right. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next one now. Let's go to the next question. There's another. Okay, before that one, let's go to this. Before that one, let's analyze here. Right? What do we have here? You need to analyze. Parallel lines. They want the value of B. Two A, 3B and 2A, two unknowns. 2A and 2B, two unknowns. So in such cases, we'll be having a situation. Let's see what situation we have. Let's see what situation we have and how we can deal with it. There's no way you can say this and this. Here we say 3B plus 2A equals to 180 degrees. Angles on a straight line. What other information do we have? This line is parallel to that line. There's a transverse. And these angles are on the same position. Therefore, we say 2A equals to 2B minus 40 degrees. Corresponding angles of parallel lines are equal. That's why it's important. You must write everything that you have. It's important. Write it down so that you have got a better picture. And normally when things are in front of you, now things would seem like to be. So you'll be having two equations now. And two unknowns. Therefore, we'll have to solve this equation at the same time, and that process is called simultaneously or simultaneous equation. Solve them at the same time. Whichever way, method that I used to, you can add the top and the bottom, or change the equations. It's up to you. You can say, okay, equation 1 is 3b plus 2a equals to 180 degrees. Equation 2, 2a minus 2b equals to minus 40 degrees. Then we can multiply everything down here by negative 1. Multiply everything by negative 1. Equation 2 by negative 1. Because you want 2a to. So 2a by negative 1 is minus 2a. 2b by negative 1, positive 2b. Negative 40 by negative 1 is 40 degrees. It's always better to put them in the order that won't be confusing. I take that in front, this one this side, and then 2b equals to 40 degrees. Then you add them. This and this will give you 0. This will be 5b, and then this will be 220 degrees. As usual, what do? I'm looking for a b, therefore I'll multiply both sides by 1 over 5. Therefore, your b will be 5 into 5 once, in 22 4 times, 20 another 4 times. That will be your b. Now you've solved for b now. You have to look for a now. According to the question, we've got a b. You have to look for a now. Now we are dealing with simultaneous equation just as a closing kind of, but it's part of a simultaneous equation as well. Right? We know there our b is 4. It's 44. B is 44. Therefore, it's up to you on the two equations which one you are going to choose. Therefore, I will choose the 2a. For me, looks a little bit easier. For me, we are not the same, and we do things differently. Then we found out that our b is 44. Therefore, where there is b, you put your 44 degrees minus 40 degrees. 2 times 44 degrees is 88 degrees minus 40 degrees equals to 2a. 2a will be equals to positive 48 degrees. Again, we are interested in a, therefore we are going to multiply with the inverse. You see, we have been doing this inverse over and over and over again. Therefore, your a is equals to 24 degrees. Now they want the measure of CGH. C, it's important to see the first letter. Look at the first letter, C, and where it ends. There's your angle. C, first letter, H, your last angle. What angle are you talking about? The G. So that's very important, which is equals to 3b. Therefore, CGH is equals to 3b. Why? Vertically opposite. This is vertically opposite to that. But now we said our b, what was our b? 44 degrees. 3 by 44 degrees, which is 134, right? 134 degrees. 132, no, sorry, 132 degrees. 132 degrees. Which is 132 degrees. And the last one says GHE. Remember what I said? The first letter G, the last letter E. Where is the angle H? GEH. Therefore, they are looking for this angle. And you can approach it in many different ways. In my case, I'll say, okay, 2a plus GHE equals to 180 degrees. Why? Co-interior angles of parallel lines equals to 180. Co-interior angles of parallel lines equals to 180. But now we have just calculated what is the value of our A now. What did we find A to be equals to? Where did we write it? 24. A is 24. A is 24. Therefore, 2 by 24 degrees plus GHE equals to 180 degrees. 48 degrees plus GHE equals to 180 degrees. Therefore, GHE equals to 132 degrees. 132 degrees. So it's a step-by-step process. It might look complicated, but whatever you see as effect of your length. Now this will be the last one for the day. We had a long day now. This will be your last one for the day. Again, what do you have? What are you giving? What do you have? What are you giving? This is vertically opposite. That is your 78 degrees. Start what we have. Then what else? This one is 64. What is the relationship of x? W, what is W related to 78 degrees? What is x related to a straight line? Therefore, straight line, what is the sum of a straight line? 180. Therefore, this will be 116 degrees. Step by step. Y and Z, we don't know. But what is the relationship of Y? Okay, Y plus 82 degrees plus 78 degrees plus 116 degrees is equals to what? 4 angles in a quadrilateral. 360, yes. Right? Then we say, okay, your Y, 82 plus 78 is 160. 160 degrees plus 116 degrees equals to 360. Y degrees, 282, 276, okay, 160, 116, 276 plus 276 equals to 360 degrees. Your Y transpose 360 degrees minus 276 degrees. All right? 260 degrees minus 276, let's see. It's a 4. It's an 8, which is 84 degrees. And if this is 84 degrees, what is your Z? Yes, you get rise. Vertically opposite is 84. Thank you very much for listening attentively. You've got those videos in short, so that you can watch and rest, watch and rest, and be able in control of your data. Good luck for the year. Next time when we meet, we'll be dealing more now with parallel lines. Thank you very much.